Good boy. Joey, come on. Come on up here, Joey. Come on, boy. Come on. Come on. Woo! Good boy. Good boy, Joey. Good boy. Yes, good boy, Joey. Good boy. Good boy. Hey, Lou, would you like to feed Joey a sugar lump? Yeah. Come on. Now, as you can see, Joey is a beautiful and innovative design. And as we talked about earlier, it takes a team of 3 actors to bring life to Joey. Each actor is given a physical task, and they're in charge of an emotional indicator. So I'd like to break those down for you, if you don't mind. So we have the head puppeteer, whose physical task is to take care of Joey's sight line. Because where Joey's looking will tell us to some degree what he's thinking. Now, the ears are the emotional indicator for the head puppeteer. If his ears are forward, then you realize Joey's feeling alert, attentive, curious, friendly. But if those ears go back, then Joey's feeling a bit threatened or frightened. It's okay, boy. Calm down, calm down, calm down. So let's move on to the heart puppeteer. Now, the heart puppeteer's physical task is to deal with the weight of the horse. No actual weight goes through the puppet's legs. All of the weight of Joey goes through the heart puppeteer's legs. So every time the hoof hits the floor, you, the audience, should feel the weight of the horse and the muscle that moves Joey forward. Good boy. Now, the emotional indicator for the heart puppeteer is one of the smallest mechanisms, but probably the most important, and that is the breath. The breath lets us know that Joey is alive. So, say Joey's breaths are high and shallow. We know that he's nervous, that something's agitating, that he's frightened. But then if his breath becomes deep and raggedy, we understand that he's exhausted or feeling overworked. Now, sometimes his breath can be a little short in a snort. Joey's giving us some attitude then, and we don't necessarily like that as well. All right, boy, it's okay. So last but not least, I want to talk about the hind puppeteer. Now, the hind puppeteer's emotional indicator is the tail. We searched high and low for material that would look really lifelike and move well with air. And originally, they found a material that was a foam substance, and it really worked well, but there was one problem. It was highly flammable. Those things don't mix. So we found this material called Tyvek. Now, as you can see, it is very lifelike and real, and I can tell you, I've seen Joey in several promotional photo shoots. Give Joey a fan, and he'll give Beyonce a run for her money. Just saying. The Hind Puppeteer's technical task is to show us the power and muscle of the hind legs. Now, the Heart Puppeteer is strapped in such a way that he cannot turn around to see what the Hind Puppeteer is doing. So the Hind Puppeteer has to set the 4-beat pattern for Joey when he's walking. Then when that pattern moves to a trot, and when that pattern actually ends up going to a gallop. Joey, whoa! Calm down. Okay. Joey's getting a bit worked up, so I think we have to send him back to the stable. But before we go, Joey, come on. Way up, boy. Way up. Good boy. Thank you, Joey. Thank you very much, Joey.